Hi everyone. I wanted to give you some overall feedback on your needs assessment. Everyone pretty much is on the right track. Things are coming along well. No matter what grade you receive, you're still on the right track. But I wanted to go over some common errors or some items I'd just like to share with you. So this is the first thing I want to talk to you about. This is what your feedback looks like. If you received an A or an F, your feedback all looks alike. It looks like this. There's a lot of feedback. As the semester progresses, you will receive less feedback. But I want to remind you that yellow means something is wrong. So for example, that should not be uppercased. This is someone's paper from last semester who received an A. This, remember, blue means that these are opinions or you're editorializing, which needs to disappear. And red means there's something wrong that I'm writing to you about. So, for example, it says you're here, and it says do not write in second person. And then some feedback, this is not relevant to this risk factor. Lots of you received that feedback from me. And then this is incorrect, and we're going to go over that on a different slide. But I just want you to know, if you look at your paper and it does not look like this, you're looking at the wrong paper. Your small papers I grade inside Blackboard, but your larger papers I download, put this kind of feedback on it, and then upload it back in. So you should see attached documents, at least two, your paper and the feedback, when you open to see your grade. If you see a paper that looks just like the one you submitted, then that's not the right thing. Sometimes I do forget to attach your paper, so if you can't find it, let me know. The other item I wanted to discuss is, for example, your reference lists I grade inside Blackboard. So typically you don't get this as a separate document. So references are typically graded inside Blackboard. Your paper is downloaded, graded, and put back in. And your paper always looks like this when you get it back from me. Lots of feedback. So I want to go over some things that I'm seeing the class consistently do incorrectly. So this one says, what you should say is, according to Brown, put the year in and then say what the article said. And these are things that you should not be doing. Okay, so the correct way in APA to cite is to say, according to the author, year in parentheses, and then say what the author said. That is if you're doing in-text within a sentence. These are things that are incorrect on this side. So according to an article by, no, you don't say according to an article by Brown. You just say Brown, okay, or according to Brown. To say the article explained, no, you say the author's name, Brown, year, explained. The research in the article included data from 300 women, no. You just tell what the author said, explained, or stated, or found. This type of detail is not appropriate for this kind of paper. The purpose of your reference list is, if I'm the reader and you say Brown stated that whatever, and I want to read more about it, I will go to your reference list, find Brown, and read that article. So do not. Okay. This is something many of you are doing. Brown says, quote, there's almost never a time you use quotations in APA. Most of the time APA quotations are used is when you have a direct quote someone that is unique to that person. So if Freud said something specific, that's probably quotable. If Edison said something specific or Einstein said something specific, those are probably quotable items. In APA, you are expected to paraphrase it and get it into your own words. So Brown year indicates, and then make the statement in your own words. Do not use quotes, paraphrase, put things into your own words. The next item, and this is extremely important in this field, do not do this. Drug addicts are, cancer survivors are, poor people are. Because when you do what's on the left-hand side, you are putting a condition before the person. That drug is important, cancer is important, poor is important, and that is incorrect. APA does not allow that, and when you go out into the internship and you're working in the field, they will correct you for this. Always, they're people first. They are not their disease, they're not their condition. So people who are addicted to drugs, survivors of cancer, or people who have survived cancer, people who live in poverty, people who live in lower income, people with lower education. Always identify people as the person first, not the disease or condition. This is a huge issue in the real world. And I think this is the last slide. Do say Brown indicates, Brown 2019 indicates this is the correct way. Do not do this. CDC indicates that. State whatever you're going to state and then cite Brown. If you say CDC indicates, that means you have read the CDC information. If you read about the information in an article written by Brown, you have to cite Brown. Because if Brown misquotes something from the article, that's what you saw. So whatever you read, that's what goes in the sentence. So for example, you could say Brown indicates, or you could make a statement with Brown 2019 at the end. In the review of CDC report, blah, 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 Brown indicates that you must cite who you read. Do not cite the organization. Do not say the indication comes from an organization if you have not read that organization. Oh, this is the last slide. So I want to remind you that numbers 1 to 10 are written as words, and numbers above 10 and decimal points are written, and fractions are written as numerals. If you use a numeral, you use a percent sign. If you use a word, you use the word percent. So 53%, 10%, this is correct. Mixing numbers and words or words and symbols is not correct. So 53% and 10%, these are not correct. This is the correct way to write this. So I'm going to try to do this for every one of your papers to try to give you highlights of what I'm seeing consistently and correct. And hopefully this helps you as you write your future papers. I'm looking forward to more of your work. Again, no matter what grade you received on your paper, most of you have done extremely well in the amount of research you've conducted and where you are in writing your papers. Your papers will get better as the semester continues. And again, I look forward to seeing more of your work.